Welcome to the Shoulder Strikes MMA Podcast. You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box. Welcome to the Shoulder Strikes MMA Podcast. You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.
Hi, hello there everyone. My name is Matt McSweeney. Welcome to the Shoulder Strikes MMA Podcast, brought to you by the Hot Take Hot Box. We are here to discuss UFC 297. Were we in Toronto? Well, I think we're somewhere in Canada. We are in Canada this weekend. Sean Strickland is defending his middleweight title against Dricus du Plessis. My name is Matt McSweeney. I am joined by Ty Capone. Ty, how are you feeling? Are we excited about this?
We are. We are in Toronto at the ScotiaBank Arena. Not the deepest card. I mean, not the best co-main ever. But I don't know, man. I kind of like this card. I kind of like the main card. I kind of like some of the matchups in the prelims. There's a rematch of a Contender Series fight that was ended. I mean, just absolutely just pathetic effort by Kevin McDonald, your boy.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's some other interesting matchups. I mean, it's not the most, stacked card full of contenders and rising prospects. But, it kind of has it's starting off with two guys who might be able to get cut at the same time, but it's still going to be an interesting fight nonetheless. I mean, it's a bunch of interesting contrasts of styles and whatnot. I'm excited. I mean, there is a prospect fight in Alan Evloev. Our boy Garrett Armfield's getting in there. We have a couple of our favorites are on this card, so it should be interesting. There's so many snipers that I don't even know what sniper it is, but there's one of them. There's one of them, the American sniper, maybe. There you go. So, and he's got his hands full with Charles Jourdain.
Yeah.
Charles Jourdain.
So we made the mistake the last time, if you guys remember, when they went to Canada, we faded almost every Canadian fighter, and they went crazy. So we're not going to do that again this year. We're not going to have like an anti-Canada thing. 2024, it's a different year. It's a different podcast. It's a different Shoulder Strikes MMA betting strategy. We have whole new strategy and everything to remind everyone of our incredible weeks that we had last week, which basically by incredible, I mean we went positive for the first, we're in the green for overall for the year for the first time since 2022. So I don't think we actually were in the green at all last year. We started off bad and we ended bad. So I'm up 4.95 units. You are up 3.25 units. Let's keep that rolling going into this event that is kicked off by, we're going to talk about the main event. Sean Strickland, Dricus du Plessis, like I said, 185 title. Sean's coming off of the upset of the year probably last year with the win against Israel Adesanya, a 50-45 or 49-46 across the board. He is fighting Dricus du Plessis, who has seemingly shocked not really shocked the world, but he just continually proves everybody wrong. He wasn't the favorite, I don't think, in the Derek Brunson fight, or if he was, I think he probably was, but he definitely wasn't the favorite in the Robert Whittaker fight, and he shocked the world by just really putting it on Robbie Whittaker, and
that could have been one of the upsets of the year. It's kind of funny that they're both have been counted out for a good part of their career. He was only minus 230 against Brunson. Looking back on it, I remember I think we might have both had money on him, and it got a little interesting. Same thing with the Till fight. We're like, yo, bro, how are you already tired? It's the first second round. Yeah. So yeah, these are two kind of awkward guys. I think Strickland is more technical, but even he has like a kind of awkward style, fight behind that Philly shell and just big on movement and pace and cardio and volume, but even he, when he fights, he kind of looks a little awkward. So, and they're both weirdos. So I gotta love that. Yeah, honestly. Definitely. Neither guy's from Canada. Sean just fought in where did he fight? Just Australia. So he's going from Australia to Canada. So I guess they don't want to put him in the States. Either way, I think this is just setting up. I think they want to set up a Dricus and Izzy super fight, I guess, for the whole continent of Africa. I'm not sure if that's how that works, but that's what the angle that they're trying to push. And I can see Dricus winning. I mean, I think this is probably the best part of both of their careers. Sean's 32, Dricus is 30. I think they are pretty identical in height and reach. So it's really going to be close. I don't know. I guess I want to lean with Sean because he has the experience. He has the technicality, the technique, I should say. Great boxing, great cardio. I think he's going to have some openings to just really outpoint Dricus. But my question is, what happens when Dricus goes forward and gets his offense off? He hits so hard it doesn't even seem like it. I mean, knocking out Robert Whitaker basically starting off with a jab.
Yeah.
And we've seen what he does to other people, man. Strickland's he's had his chin checked multiple times, even though I think he does have a relatively good chin. Dricus is just awkward. That's the thing with him. He's very awkward. I don't even know how you game plan for him. I know Eric Nixick and those guys over there are the best. So if anybody has a plan, it's them. But there's just the awkwardness, the violent, powerful nature of Dricus. I think he's going to have the bigger, more impactful moments on the feet, also on the ground. I'd be very interested to see what happens if there is any clinch work, any wrestling, any grappling, because I think Dricus is, again, not the most technical, but he's super fucking strong, and he just gets it done. He goes for it. He cardio dumps a lot because of that.
Yeah.
That style,
that's
but
what worries me.
He still throws good volume.
Yeah,
I still think he does throw that good volume, but I don't know if that'll happen here against Sean. It's definitely not the right guy.
Still, because I don't know if he's really. I mean, how many 5-rounders has this guy been in? If he's been in any,
right? Who knows? I was thinking this fight might not go 5 rounds. I'm starting to think it might. I think it might just be a nip tuck affair.
Yeah,
or it's just back and forth and back and forth. I'm not really sure, honestly. I mean, he's been in the 3rd round a bunch of times, but has he been in the 4th? Has he been in the 5th? Sean Strickland's been in main events where he's gone 25 minutes. I think he went 25 with Imavov, right? Cannonier, Hermanson. I don't know if he did with Uriah Hall. Yeah, he did. So he's been doing this for a while, man. He's been there, done that. 15-5 in the UFC, 6-0 for Dricus. Man, I want to go off the radar and go Dricus sub because I feel like he could really have some nice edge on the ground. I'm trying to look at the props now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a huge feel for this, so I'm just gonna lock it in now and then switch to you. I'm gonna go Dricus money line.
Okay. So for the people out there listening, the odds. We have Dricus is a slight underdog in some of these sites. He's a favorite on a couple of them, but mainly the underdog. It's really right down the middle. It's rare you see a line, especially for a main event that's this close. Strickland minus 125, 115. And you can get Dricus at around plus 105, minus 105. It bounces back and forth, but that is around where you're getting things at. If you think Dricus gets him out of there, you're going to get that at plus 265, 220. So in that neighborhood, in that range, not a bad number. Strickland is plus 200, 235. I don't like any of the finishing props or anything like that, especially when a fight is this close to even money on the money line. So I think you can, either way, you can, you're good to go. You can make money. I just worry. I think the later this fight goes, the better it is for Sean Strickland. I think that I don't really have a feel for who wins this fight, to be honest. That's where I struggle with having a solid pick or anything like that. I just don't know. They're the exact same size. 6'1", 76-inch reach. I mean, these guys are at, like you said, in the prime of their careers. They have, Sean has come on as of late. He's won his last 3, and he's now the champion of the world. He beat Israel Adesanya. He made it look easy. No one would have thought that would happen. So it's really kind of who knows, sky's the limit sort of situation. I really don't have a good read on it, but I got to make a pick. So I'm gonna go Sean Strickland money line. The guy, I just have a feeling he's going to be able to outlast his defense. His pressure is going to make Dricus uncomfortable. And if Sean can get through, I would say the first round, maybe 2 rounds, then I think he's going to kind of, not cruise, but he'll be able to kind of get comfortable and start to really get his offense off. So that is what I'm taking. I am taking Sean Strickland money line at around -110. So
I like it. We're on opposite sides. I was really thinking of playing a Drickus sub play, but Sean Strickland has great takedown defense. He hasn't been subbed before. I just have a weird feeling that something, this fight's gonna get real messy, real awkward, real sloppy, and I don't know, man. Drickus has. I liked how he got that choke against Darren Till, who's primarily a striker, kind of like Strickland. Big difference in fighter from Till to Strickland. I don't know, man. Something tells me about Strickland is, he's had a lot going on lately. It seems like he hasn't been all there. Right after he won the belt, he said he didn't even care about the title. That kind of makes me feel a little weary. When sometimes when guys finally get to the top, win the championship, they kind of falter. They kind of fall off after that. They've kind of accomplished what they wanted to, and now it's like, well, it goes downhill. It seems like from there. I'm not sure if that's really going to happen to Sean. I think he wants to stay on top, obviously, but I wonder how locked in, how dialed in he is. I think Drickus is 100% dialed in. I do worry about that cardio. That gives me a lot of pause. I feel like Sean could even get him out of there. But if it gets ugly, if it gets weird, I think I trust Drickus to maybe resort to wrestling or clinching or grabbing on and making something happen from there. Landing a big knee or a big elbow or a trip to a takedown. I don't know. I'm really considering a sub play, but
it's tough. It's tough to
it's probably just
it's hard to envision something that you really haven't seen. He's never been submitted before in his entire career. He's had 30 plus fights. How can you expect something like that to happen? So it's
I'll just stay with money line because I don't know.
Well, that's where I'm at. Like, it's a sort of situation where I don't know what's going to happen, and the odds are close enough where why not just take a shot on the money line and you can make money, no matter how it happens. I don't have a good read. I think, like I said, the easier or the best way for Drickus to win is to kind of establish his dominance early and really inflict some damage. If he doesn't get him out of there, just, hurt him early and let him know that it's no joke so that he kind of, fights not scared but cautious the entire time. I've seen Sean Strickland had a 5-round main event against Uriah Hall, and that was one of the most boring fights. Now, Uriah Hall lost, but Uriah Hall let Sean Strickland know right away what was going on there, and he fought cautious and scared. Uriah Hall is a guy who doesn't, talk about lack of volume. He doesn't really throw much at all. So I think if, with DDP's just being able to cause chaos and making a fight ugly, I think that's his best way to win. Awkward, ugly, chaos. That is the recipe for a successful night for Drickus du Plessis. So, but I am going Sean Strickland. I think Strickland is going to be able to kind of keep him at bay. He has more experience in these 5-round affairs, especially the longer it stays standing, which I think it's going to. I think it suits Sean Strickland. So that is my bet. We're on either side, so this is tough. This is a tough start to the podcast, but I think it's only going to get better.
Somebody's got to win, right?
Yeah, somebody's got to win. I think we're going to be on the same side on this one, but I guess we'll see. Raquel Pennington is getting a vacant UFC Bantamweight Championship. This is the title that Amanda Nunes was the purveyor or, was the holder of. She, led this division for many a year, and now she has given it up. She has walked away from the sport, and it is now up to Raquel Pennington and Mayra Bueno Silva to grab that torch and keep on going. Juliana Pena is waiting for them in the wings. She's making sure everybody knows that she's around because she acts like she's Mike Tyson. It cracks me up when in no fucking universe is that girl scary or anything like that. She's a good fighter, but we saw what happened the second fight against Amanda Nunes. But Mayra Bueno Silva is minus 165, 170 to Raquel Pennington's plus 140, 145. I'll say right away before you go, Mayra Bueno Silva is probably my play.
Yeah, I like her here. I think she's in a good stage of her career. I know it got a little weird when she had that draw at Montana De La Rosa. She lost to Manon Fiorot, lost to Marina Moroz, but I thought she actually did some good things in those fights. Also, she's now up a weight class.
Yes,
she has been for a little bit. So, also she should have a win over Holly Holm. I don't know how an Adderall prescription gets you a fight overturned, but sure, why not? Whatever. Also, she hit a similar ninja choke on the Contender Series. Mayra Bueno Silva did against the fuck was her name? Souza, some undefeated chick who I don't think we ever saw again, but she has really good subs. I mean, she's pretty good off her back, good arm bars, heavy power, which not many women have in this weight class. Devastating leg kicks. Marina Moroz and even Manon Fiorot, her front leg was getting beat up a little bit. And I think she's going to have a chance to do that here against Rocky with Rocky's like boxing stance style. I think she's going to have the ability to do that. And Rocky's getting old. She's 35. I don't think, I think she's pretty durable. I think she's very tough, but I don't think she's anything special. I mean, she's pretty strong. She's pretty good in the clinch. I think she's known for her durability and her boxing and just her experience, all around solid game. But I think she can be bullied like the Amanda Nunes, the GDR fights. She has been able to keep a pace for 25 minutes. So that's one thing I will say that's in her favor. Yeah. Meanwhile, Mayra Bueno Silva has gassed out multiple times just in 3-round fights.
Yeah.
The Yanam Wu fight, I remember she should have got that chick out of there quick, man. And she, it took a little bit for Lena Landsberg for that fight to matriculate. But either way, man, I think she's at a very great, very good part of her career. I think she's figured it out. I think she has her mind is in the right place, and I think she's focused. And I think she really wants to set up a grudge match with your girl, the Venezuelan Vixen. And I think she beats her. I think she beats Juliana Pena. I think she smokes Juliana Pena, honestly. Juliana Pena is very slow and plodding, but for this fight, yeah, I got Mayra Bueno Silva winning. I guess I don't really know how. This is kind of like the main event because maybe it goes the distance, but I don't know how I feel about Mayra Bueno Silva if we're getting to the 4th and 5th round. I don't know if it's 165. I would like it a little down, so I'm gonna stay away just because I kind of don't really know. I haven't had great success tracking Mayra Bueno Silva's career to this point. I think did I pick Holly Holm over? I don't know if I did. I think I did. I did like a dumbass. So
I did too.
So I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I do think she gets it done here. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be a dogfight. I think Rocky has a chance to win some rounds, but I find it hard to believe that she's going to win most of this fight. So, give me Shitara to win. Maybe she gets a sub late. Maybe she gets a knockout early. I see a lot on the table here for her. Rocky, I just see her,
holding her up against the fence. That's literally what I say. That's what I'm worried about. Stalling.
Tiring her now, yeah.
Yeah, holding her up against the fence, kind of just sucking the air. I'm going to stay away as well from a gambling aspect because I would probably, if I would try to bet a Mayra Bueno Silva inside the distance because I think, like you said, the longer the fight goes, the less likely it is for her to have success because Raquel, it seems like just does well in those fights because she honestly makes it really boring and just leans you up against the fence. But people let her do that. It's about not letting her. You can't let her do that to you. She did it to Ketlin Vieira and got a questionable decision, I thought, but this is a tough one. It's tough to really get a gauge on. I would love to bet Mayra Bueno Silva, but I just can't trust her. So I'm gonna stay away. And I think the good thing is she's been training for 5-round fights. The last 2 fights have been 5-rounders. So I think she's probably gonna be in the best shape that she possibly can be. I don't know. You know what? I can't let this this thing go by, so I'm gonna go minus 160 Mayra Bueno Silva.
I like it. I was thinking about doing the same thing, but I was like, why not? I don't know. I don't have a great feel on it. There's a couple other plays that I like on this card, so a couple disgusting ones, I guess. But
yeah,
I'm gonna pass on this.
I don't feel, it doesn't feel right to let a title fight go by and not have a wager on it, and I just think Raquel Pennington stinks. So, I mean, she definitely could still win this, but I think Mayra Bueno Silva will figure out it. And even Raquel Pennington's not like if Mayra was to gas out, is she just gonna put it on her and start beating the fuck out of her? I don't really see that happening either, right? She's got one KO victory in her whole career.
Yeah, other than when she finished your girl Macy Chasson a couple years ago. She hasn't got a finish in since Jessica Andrade way back in 2015. So, yeah, I don't think she presents any kind of trouble. It just, I think she could probably, steal or win some minutes and some rounds. But, yeah, plus 750 TKO for Mayra Bueno Silva. I know she only has one, but she fucking hits hard. So, I'm just going to stay away. I think a sub is probably something I also like here. But again,
inside the distance is plus 130 for her. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't love that. I think that's, I think it's kind of fair, but I wish it was a little bigger, a little higher.
Yeah.
I wish it was in the plus 170, plus, in the 200 range. But either way.
Oh man, I kind of want to take that now. It's kind of telling me they know what's going to happen, man.
Listen, I mean, I don't know. You got this. Yeah, I trust you here.
I'm changing it.
Uh-oh.
Inside the distance, plus 130.
All right.
Jesus.
I mean, you got to figure she's probably not, she's more likely to win by stoppage than by decision, right?
That's
I guess both
thinking,
can happen, but yeah, I just don't know. I mean, 25 minutes with Mayra Bueno Silva. I know she gasses and has the tendency to gas, but that sounds tough, man. Nasty leg kicks, hard hands, crazy subs. Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, and Holly Holm was doing good for that first round until she wasn't. She just kind of got caught.
That happened quick.
Yeah, that happened out of nowhere. So that's what I'm sitting there. Like, she seems like that's kind of her way or her path to victory. She's got, 2 decisions, 7 submissions, 1 KO. So maybe sub is just the bet, but who knows? I'm going to stay away from that. Neil Magny, Mike Malott. This is the feature bout of the night, so it's not, we're not exactly the greatest feature bout. Neil Magny, more towards the Neil Magny negativity, but plus 310, 280 to Mike Malott's minus 360, 400. I like Mike Malott here, obviously. I think it's just, does he get him out of there would be the real question. I don't think Neil Magny is a worthy or a trustworthy bet these days. I mean, he's lost. He's kind of like, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose kind of guy now. And, I mean, really, he's done that for the last fucking forever, it seems.
Yeah. I was going to say, he's always kind of been like
in there somewhere. A grappling match L out of nowhere. So, but, I mean, the guys he loses to are not, they're not Ian Machado Gary, which, say what you want, but he's ranked. Gilbert Burns, Shavkat, Michael Chiesa, and Pons when he was at the height of his game. It was, these aren't exactly scrubs, but I think you could say the same about Mike Malott. Mike Malott just gets people out of there, man. Never
been the distance.
These last couple, especially since he joined the UFC, it's been, elimination of Mickey Gall, elimination of that Johan Linnes, and Adam Fugit. So I guess you could say this is a big step up in competition, or somewhat big step up in competition. So I don't know how to feel about that, but I would probably say that he gets him out of there, but it's minus 190, dude. I don't really know if I could even bet this.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I think. What was the minus 190 line that you said?
Inside the distance.
Well, Bellator, Bovada just froze on me because that's just what they do.
Of course.
So I minus, what am I supposed to do with minus 350 as a line for Mike Malott over Neil Magny when he's coming off of a win against Adam Fuckett? But I'm going to do it. I'm going to play the trend, and I'm going to go Mike Malott by sub plus 105. I think Neil Magny loves getting subbed. He loves just putting his neck out there. He's very long. Mike Malott's pretty long too, but he's obviously not going to, pale in comparison to Neil Magny. Magny has most wins at 170, I think, ever. Very, very long for that weight class. Uses the clinch. It's crazy. There's been multiple times where he's fought somebody and has just, had them fight his fight in the clinch, and then he's worn on them. And the Robbie Lawler fight, the Phil Rowe fight, the Li Jiang Liang fight. So maybe he can do something like that. Teach Mike Malott a vet lesson. I think Mike Malott is definitely overdue for a vet lesson, but Neil Magny's kind of at a ship part of his career, man. He's I mean, the durability's going. The leg kicks have been an ongoing issue, and I'm not even just talking about the Ian Gary fight or the Ponzinibbio fight, the Max Griffin fight, the Carlos Condit fight, the Lorenz Larkin fight way back in the day. He's just so susceptible to him. And Mike Malot's the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach at Alpha Male, so he has like I'm not a jiu-jitsu guy. I have to talk to your brother and you. About it, but it seems like Mike Malott has this. I saw somebody talking about like a high wrist guillotine or front choke sequence that he uses. It looks a little different. He gets a lot of leverage on it, and they're fucking nasty too. I mean, just snatches it up quick, and he's pretty unforgiving with those subs. Very tricky. He'll hurt you on the feet. He'll guillotine you, arm triangle. He loves just any kind of choke. I remember he choked out my boy Solomon Renfro in CFFC before he fought. That fucking fraud on the Contender Series, Shimon
Smatrosky or something like that.
Smatrosky, yes.
Oh my God, that was
tough.
Scrub.
Yeah, it was almost like a pick'em fight. I'm like, damn, this Shimon guy is terrible. Always fade the Israeli guys. They can't really fight. But I guess I will say, Mike Malott, there were some interesting parts of that Mickey Gall fight, which is not the best. And also Adam Fugit. He was getting pieced up, but he had a couple moments of success. But right before he got dropped, I think he got dropped and then guillotined. Mike Malott is just he turns it around quick, man. He can weather the storm. He's had a bunch of grappling matches. Trevor Giles, a couple other ones, and he's honestly had a better strength of schedule outside of the UFC. He fought Hakeem Dawodu way back in the day, got knocked out, but he fought in Bellator once. Fought to a draw, and then fought my boy Solomon Renfro in CFFC. So, yeah, this is a big step up. But I think he gets it done. I think he taps out Neil Magny again. Neil Magny's been subbed, like 6 times?
Yeah.
6 times, yeah. So, and he's 36. He's pretty much past it. Low volume. Maybe he just makes it a sloppy, ugly dog fight. I could see it, but I'm going Mike Malott sub.
Mike Malott sub plus 135. That is the move. I like that. I like that number. I like Mike Malott's game, and I think this is Mike. Like you said, Mike Malott might get fraud checked at some point. I just don't think this is it right here. It's not. I don't think Neil Magny's the guy that provide. I also could see him knocking Neil Magny out, but I also know that it's going to be tough for him to, have these long extended striking, events because he's got 7-inch reach advantage for Neil Magny, so. He's probably going to fire those leg kicks and then probably try to get the takedown, I would imagine. But I guess we'll see. Mike Malott, sub, plus 135. Chris Curtis fighting Marc-Andre Barriault. Wow. MAB. I know some people out there. Power Bar. It's a crazy-ass nickname. That always cracks me up. But Chris Curtis is a big-time favorite. Well, actually, not that big. I'm sorry. I got that mixed up. But minus 200, 210 on some of these. To Marc-Andre Barriault's plus 165, 160. Ty, do you trust that Marc-Andre Barriault is going to represent his country of Canada well? Pretty sure the last time we saw him out there, he was taking care of business against Eric, ya boy, Anders. So, and then he dispatched the Cuban Missile Crisis. I remember that.
We do.
I do also recall the loss to Fluffy, which he barely, got that inside the distance. I remember I was worried about that, but do you think Chris Curtis gets him out of there, I would say?
Chris Curtis is 36 now. I think he's shorter here, but I think he does have the longer reach.
Yeah.
I think his takedown defense has come such a long way. I think Chris Curtis was on the before he got to the UFC, people thought he was just some regional scene scrub. So he's really just kind of turned it around. Very durable. Just has that great pocket boxing with good output, good cardio. He can take a shot. Phil Halls was hitting him with some pretty good shots, and he turned that shit around quick. I like a lot that he can do, but sometimes I think he's a bit stationary. Sometimes I feel like he doesn't put an exclamation mark on rounds. But MAB, man, Power Bar is he's a grinder. He's got the nasty inside elbows, nasty inside clinch work, and just putting his head on your head and really just bothering you and making you feel uncomfortable. But he's so slow, like plodding forward. I do think he is tough, but he eats a big shot sometimes. I don't know if that's something that you can just count on, not being an issue and just walking through guys' best shots. I still think that Eric Anders, arguably beat him in that last fight. So he is at his best when guys fade. I just don't know if that's Chris Curtis. I think maybe eventually Chris Curtis can definitely run into some trouble, but Nasruddin Imavov is a much different challenge than Marc-Andre Barrios. I mean, one's a athletic freak who's like 6'3", long kickboxer, and power bar is just that. He's a power bar. So, I think Chris Curtis has him covered here. Maybe he could finish him, maybe not. There's been some times where I thought Chris Curtis could get a finish, and he's come up a little short. So, -185 seems reasonable. Can the Action Man get a finish? I mean, I guess his last win was a finish, right, against Joaquin Buckley. I think this could go similar to that fight, honestly. I'm not going to take it. Again, he's a fighter I've had weird betting history with. I think I might have had him over Kelvin Gastelum or Jack Hermanson, one of those two. I can't remember. He's also been sparked out before. Ray Cooper, remember that back in PFL. And then the Imavov fight ended up being a no contest. I remember I had Imavov, so that sucked. And I don't really like Chris Curtis. He's always on Twitter talking shit, talking about, I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about half the time. But I think he should get it done. I just don't trust him enough to make any kind of bet.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay the juice here. I think it's worth it. I think it's close enough to under 200 is pretty much my limit, and I can get -185 on Chris Curtis money line. So I'm going to bet the money line -185. I just think, like you said, he's like Marc-Andre Barrios going to have to grind on him. He's going to have to be able maybe to take him down. I don't know if these long-term striking exchanges are going to suit him. So I think that's how this fight's going to play out, and I think Chris Curtis gets it done here. I don't know how. Probably a decision. I maybe would want to. I don't know though, because he might catch him and hurt him and get him out of there. So that's why I stay away from that. So I'm gonna go Chris Curtis -185. Arnold Allen, Movsar Evloev, I believe is how you actually I've heard so many different people say his name different, but Evloev is coming off of his close, razor thin decision. I know he was a unanimous, but it was a much closer fight than he and everyone else expected against Diego Lopez. He's fighting Arnold Allen. Arnold Allen is coming off of a loss to Max Holloway, which was a main event. Like I said, plus 160 for Arnold Allen, 175. Evloev is a -190, 210 favorite. Ty, I don't... It seems like Evloev's going to have to make a statement here, in my opinion, just for me to kind of believe that he is the man again, after, not that he's not, but I mean, like, he's had 3 decisions in a row. It doesn't really seem, more
than that.
Right? Yeah, right?
I think every fight in his UFC career has been one.
That's crazy. Wow. I saw Split
Only one
and
Split.
instantly changed my mind. Yeah. Wow.
And that was against Nick Lenz, too. I think they both have a common opponent in Nick Lenz. I believe I think he gave away a round to Nick Lenz, and I think Arnold Allen also kind of struggled with him a little bit. So
I don't have a read on this fight, to be honest. I'm probably going to stay away. I would. This would be a situation where I might just bet the underdog because it seems like they were somewhat evenly matched, but I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I do think I like Evloev to win a decision, but that's -150. So I don't know. I don't know about that, man. I do like Arnold Allen's. I like what he does from the southpaw stance, throwing calf kicks. Usually, you see a southpaw fire off body kicks when he's fighting an orthodox guy, right? You go from the left kick to the body. He does it to the calf, so that's kind of interesting. A little wrinkle in his game. He's really good at darting in and out, quick, powerful hands. Has opportunistic submissions. Mads Burnell, that was a good one, and then his UFC debut against Omer. That was pretty good. His takedown defense, his get-up game is pretty good, and that's even, I think it's, 76%, and that's even counting, or factoring in when he fought earlier in his career, he fought guys where he was getting taken down a bunch, like Amir Khani, Mads Burnell took him down 6 times. So he, it's something he's been working on. And the fact that 76%, that's pretty good, man. That's, that's holding up pretty well. Obviously the Max Holloway fight was tough, but look what he did to Calvin Kattar. Look what he did to Dan Hooker. Even in the Sadiq Youssef, he faced a little bit of trouble, but got a couple takedowns, got a knockdown, and just was able to get his hand raised. So he just has a way of winning. I think. I think he gets it done. He's very solid all around. He's still improving, still young. What is he? Our age, 28, 29. So not that Evloev. He's, I think, same thing, 29, and he's a guy that's slowly gotten better. I think he has his game. He's a relentless wrestler who, I like how he strikes for a little bit to kind of, make you think, all right, yeah, he's going to stand a little bit with you, and then he, boom, quick. And even if he doesn't get the first takedown or the second or the third, he times them really well. He chains them really well. He's very methodical the way he, wall walks when he gets you against the cage. And I think he can wear you down in a way that kind of Sadiq Youssef did against Arnold Allen, kind of wearing on him against the cage and shit like that. And I think Evloev eventually will be able to get him down and probably win every round. Maybe win 2 of 3, but either way, I think he just has what it takes to get it done. Arnold Allen hasn't really faced many wrestlers as of late. And sometimes he doesn't push a heavy pace and doesn't push 4 takedowns, even though he has a pretty decent wrestling game. So I just, looking at it, just a quick look, you'd think Arnold Allen should be, I think a lot of people are counting him out, but looking at the stylistic matchup, I don't think he matches up that well with Evloev. So I'm going to go Evloev decision. I'm not going to bet anything because I think it's a little juiced, even though it is obviously every fight he, I'm going to play. I mean, every single fight he has in the UFC has been a decision victory. So I don't see why Arnold Allen will be the guy that he finishes. Maybe he catches him in something, right? But yeah, give me Evloev decision. I think minus 150-ish.
Minus 150-ish. Let me see if I can get you a better line just for the people out there. Wow, there's minus 120 on here. So there you go. Evloev decision minus 120 on FanDuel. There's a couple. It's all over the place, kind of. The earlier you get to these people, the better it is for you to maybe attack some of these lines that you think are misconstrued or a little off. So here we go with that was the main card. We are now going to go into the prelim section of the card, and that is Brad Katona, Canada's own, who fights in Ireland and wears glasses. He's fighting Garrett Armfield. He is a minus 200, 210 favorite to Garrett Armfield's plus 170, 165. We have both been on record kind of saying that we like Garrett Armfield's game. We think he's pretty good. He kind of showed up in short notice, up a weight class against David Onama, comported himself, somewhat well, came back and just eliminated that Kazama guy. I mean, just beat the shit out of him. That was bad.
I just rewatched it earlier, and I was like, bro, he beat them. Like from the second the fight started, Kazama just didn't want to be there.
He got hit a couple times. He was like,
he kept getting hit, and he's like, this sucks. Does it get any better from here? No, it does not. So, yeah, sorry, I don't want to.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, Brad Katona. He just won the Ultimate Fighter, coming off of that fight on the Sterling O'Malley card in August. So what
a fight too.
What a great fight that was. It really was.
Usually, if I remember correctly, he has like a boring-ish style. So the fact that he was going balls to the wall with Cody Gibson, who I believe has a fight coming up also, that was awesome. That was a really good fight. He's the only guy to ever win the Ultimate Fighter twice, for whatever that's worth. He just has an interesting cage-pushing, judo wrestling style with also good Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It's kind of – he's just an awkward, weird guy and fighter. He's been around for a long fucking time. He's very experienced, very durable. I'm not really sure when that physical decline is, but it should be soon. I hate to say that, but it's just been so many hours in the gym and in the cage, and hasn't been in that many wars and hasn't been knocked out cold that many, if ever. But that's all going to wear on you, man. And as you get older, it's just going to be harder and harder. And Garrett Armfield's young, man. He's very young, and he's making improvements every fight, working really well with Trey Ogden. They have something really, really good going on over there. Heavy hands, solid boxing. He listens to his corner very well. There was times in that Kazama fight he was standing a little stiff, a little straight up, and they said, "Hey, bend in the knees, stay eye level," and he did, and then knocked him out. Not the best opponent. Hopefully, we never see that guy again in the UFC. I don't think he was ever should have been there, but also decent wrestling. Armfield has the problem is that he just tends to slow down. I think when the pace turns up, and that really worries me in this fight with Brad Katona. I think he's going to have to put him out early, or else. He might find himself on his back, and maybe even getting finished late if he really wears down. So I want to take Armfield, I really do, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stay away. I don't like betting Brad Katona fights, even though I would love to fade Brad Katona here. I think his style is pretty good here. I do think there's a chance though. I mean, Armfield has got the better hands, but as we saw in his last fight, Brad Katona will let them go too. So the fact that he kind of switching styles this late in his career or looking a little bit different kind of throws me off. I think Armfield's a little too young and inexperienced here. I think he might take an L here. I will say there is a split decision on Garrett Armfield's record that was kind of recent against Mark Slider. That was not it should not have been a split decision. So I don't know what the refs in that fight were looking at. Also, he has a loss to Matteo Vogel and Ronnie Lawrence. Matteo Vogel's pretty one of the better Canadian prospects. I think he has a fight coming up this weekend, actually, tomorrow, against a fellow named John Wynn at Unified MMA 55. So we'll have to check that out, see how he does. Ricky Bandejas is also on that card. Yeah. Wow, that's a name I haven't heard in a while.
He destroyed James Gallagher. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember you had a mega whale play on James Gallagher that night. So
I did actually bet James Gallagher that night.
Come on, you don't have to tell the people that. But either way,
honesty. I'm the merchant of honesty.
Listen, I bet Cyril Gane against John Jones, so I can't say anything. Yeah. I would love to go with the Missouri State Tiger. Not a tiger. He's a bear, I believe. The Missouri State Bears. I think that's what they are. In Garrett Armfield. Fighting out of Florida as well. Gotta love that. It's my guy, friend out Killcliff FC. I'm going to stay away, unfortunately. I just don't have a good play. I'm not going to bet with my heart, so...
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. Like I probably off the book might do it, but I can easily see a world where Brad Katona takes him down and just holds him down and just starts ground and pounding and getting offense off. And there's nothing that Armfield can do. I mean, he's much bigger than him. He's got a big reach advantage in this fight, I believe. But I mean, he's got 5.5 inches. So I think that could play a factor. But
definitely at the beginning.
Like he like you said, he has to. The ideal path would be to get him out of there early, and Brad Katona's never been finished in his whole career. So, it's tough to go out there and bet something like that. So,
all of the props for Garrett Armfield, I think decisions plus 400, KO plus 450, sub plus 1100. So you see that the book's not that confident in him getting it done. So.
No. So that's why we stay away, and then we keep it moving. Charles Jourdain, Air Jourdain, getting back in there. Against the sniper, Sean Woodson. The guy's built crazy, man. He's 6'2".
Another Missouri boy.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So it's Missouri versus Canada, basically, in this in this card.
I think I got Canada in this one. I don't know if I can tail the state of Missouri after I was just there for a couple of days and realized that nothing makes sense there.
There you go. So what do we have odds-wise here? I believe that Sean Woodson is the underdog at plus 180, 170. Charles Jourdain is a minus 200, 205 favorite. This seems like another one for me that I'm probably going to stay away from. A 9-inch reach advantage for the sniper, but he seems like he always wears down during these fights. And Charles Jourdain, you never know, man. That's the thing with him. He either looks like the greatest fighter who's ever existed, or he's just kind of getting pushed back by Shane Burgos, or he's getting pushed back by Nathaniel Wood, or he's getting darsed by Julian Erosa. So it's you just don't know. You don't know. So that's why I'm going to stay away from this personally. But I don't blame anyone who may have a bad. I mean, I just personally love Sean Woodson as well, so I can't.
Yeah. Do you know who else got darsed by Julian Erosa in the third round?
No.
Sean Woodson.
Did he really?
Yeah, they both have a third round Darce L to join Erosa, which, I mean, listen, he'll do that to you. That motherfucker is you can knock him down with a gust of wind, but also, on the other hand, he'll fucking dog walk you, and he will not feel bad about it. So that's a tough guy to fight. I actually like Julian Erosa a lot. all jokes aside. Also, Sean Woodson, when he had that Luis Saldana fight, he died in the first round and then was able to battle back to get a draw. So he's pretty tough, man. All jokes aside, he's not the most aesthetically pleasing fighter. Every time I try to say that word, I fuck up the first time. So that's good. But he's long, tough, high volume striker. Again, I liked how he rallied a little bit against Saldana, who's not the best fighter, but just showing something like that is pretty good. I think Woodson is also starting to wrestle a little bit more lately. And that's why I think I'm going to play Charles Jourdain sub. I like him plus 600 here. I know it's a big line. I think he should piece him up on the feet. I think something I don't like about Jourdain, I do like his girlfriend. She's beautiful. Jourdain, he's a good looking dude.
Yeah, he is.
Them Quebecois people are good looking people out there. So the one thing I do not like about Charles is he does what Petr Yan and Chito Vera do. It seems like he takes the round one off or takes a round off, makes some reads, right? And then he just comes forward like an animal out of nowhere. Sometimes in the third round, he'll just, like a bat out of hell, just turns it the fuck up. He's usually the longer guy. Will not be in this fight. Also, giving up takedowns, I think 50% takedown defense. Not a fan here, or about that, I should say. Not a fan of that stat, but I do think, and he also doesn't go for takedowns as much as I kind of like him. It's a lot like what you said. You just never know what you're getting from him. But he is maturing. He is getting older. Again, he's like our age. So, and he's been fighting for a little bit. I think he's kind of ironing out his all-around game. And, I'm going to take it. I think it's a bit of a long shot. And I think he can get a ground and pound or hurt him on the feet. I think he has the better hands and more power here. But I'm going to go, Sean Woodson's been trying to get takedowns as of late. I think that could play right. He has long neck. I think that can play right into Charles Jourdain's guillotine. He has a nasty guillotine. Give me Charles Jourdain by sub. I feel pretty confident in this. I know it's a long shot again, but I like it. I'm going to play it.
Charles Jourdain sub plus 600.
Yeah, I like it. I like that line.
That is a good number if that's what you're going to play. I mean, 600. That's a difference maker. That's if you included that in the Tesla parlay, then it would be a big time difference.
I might have to do that. I'm going to hit you up this weekend, so make sure you have the DraftKings app logged in, ready to fire up. I'm going to send you something to play for me. You can ride off in the sunset.
Hell yeah! I'm gonna have to figure out. I haven't been on the DraftKings app in a minute. It's been
dust it off. Let's go.
I'm gonna have to see what the deal is on there. Even though they do have really good odds for the UFC when I look at this, but how do you say this gentleman's name? Surrey
City.
Surrey City. Okay. These two fought on the Contender Series this year, earlier on in the year, and it was. I thought a easy or an early stoppage. I mean, I don't know if it would have really changed the outcome, but
Dana White, same thing.
Yeah,
the camera panning to Dana White, and he has this confused look on his face, like somebody's getting fired.
Yeah, it was horrible. It really was. It's you could argue it wouldn't have made a difference, but it did because you didn't give a guy a chance to kind of recover. He did. I thought he was defending himself well. I didn't think it was worthy of stoppage, but. That's Kevin McDonald for you. He likes to do shit randomly that just makes absolutely no sense at all. So we got plus 180, I think I saw. I'm sorry, not even that bad. 155, 140 to Cities, minus 175, 180. From what you saw in the 2 minutes of this last fight, it seems like it's going to be, a pretty good fight, a pretty close fight, I would say. I don't think that the odds are that crazy or that off. I bet Roman Tavares the last time, and I would like to do it again. I just don't know if I'm going to take it on the card.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember.
He got fucking rocked, but I mean, he was his durability was.
He was doing really well.
He was
landing that straight left right down the pipe a lot. But Surrey City has a pretty good shit. They're both men. This is gonna be a good fucking fight. He did miss weight the first time he fought City. And again, that stoppage was so bad. But he bounced back when he fought that fellow in the Contender Series, Cortavius Romeus. And he fucked the guy his nickname was Are You Not Entertained? He was not entertained as he got fucking flatlined by that left hook. So that was nasty. Also, he has a fight coming up in Pure FC 27. Mr. Are You Not Entertained against a 4-14 guy. So, I guess he's guess he's getting back in the win column this week. Is that this weekend also? No, it's in a month from now. So we'll see how Mr. Romeus does. But yeah, the Savage, Roman Tavares, I like him. He's kind of a one-dimensional boxer. Sits in that pocket, throws those 1-2s, good low kicks. I like how he counters low kicks or counters with the 1-2 very well. He kind of reminds me of a southpaw Cody Garbrandt a little bit. Also, I think he has a what the fuck's that dude's name? The bum, Martin Day. He has a submission over Martin Day. That was a pretty nice guillotine. I think that was in the regional scene somewhere. But he has been dropped a couple times. He got knocked out in 30 seconds on the regional scene once by a 5-5 guy. Surrey City sat him down. In a fight he was winning, it went. It did a 180 quick. So I like all around what Surrey City does: clinch knees, body kicks, all around. Just maybe not great anywhere. I think gets hit a little too much. I think he's a little keeps his hands down a little too much. But man, he's a tough dude. He's a tough dude. Born in Ukraine, moved to Canada when he was like 6. So he's got that deep down dog in him. I think he's much more durable. I also think he's a better grappler if he goes for it. I'm not sure if he will. He likes to stand and trade. This is going to be a back and forth fight. I'm not sure. Who knows what happens this time around? I know he had the win, but I think Tavares was like 11 of 19 total strikes in that first fight. So he was really getting his offense off too before he got caught. I'm staying away from this fight. I'm going to pick Surrey City to win. Maybe a decision. Probably not. I don't know why I said that, but maybe not. Who knows? We'll see if they run it. Well, we'll see when they run it back. This is going to be a really good fight, though, just all in all. So I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, I'd probably bet Tavares off the books, but I
don't mind that, being an underdog.
Yeah, I just can't do it. But it was. So, yeah, I have to raise my microphone levels because I am kind of low here. But I think we're at Jillian Robertson minus 305. I don't remember what I said or what I didn't. Pauliana Viana is plus 240, 245. So I imagine this is kind of going to play out on the ground. It's going to be a little bit of a grapple fest, I would say, or at least they think. I mean, if Jillian Robertson's going to win, that's how it's going to happen. That's her bread and butter, just backpacking people and taking care of business from there. Ty, Pauliana Viana has really, as much of a fan of hers as you may be. She has kind of let you down in some of these circumstances. That getting tapped out by Lucindo last time out was.
That was sad.
It was not a good look. So, I guess how do we judge this? Do we think that Miss Viana might get subbed or might get out grappled by Jillian Robertson? I mean, she's down at 115. She's looked good.
Yeah, but moving up. Jillian Robertson has not looked good. I think she's very slow. Eddie Alvarez said it best about her. If she can't get a takedown, she quits. That's it. I think she's nasty, though, when she gets on top. Like, she drops some elbows and ground and pound because she wants you to give up your back. And then, boom. From there, it's pretty much tap city. And Pauliana Viana can be taken down. She's kind of dangerous off her back, but I just don't like how often she goes to it. I think that's what she did against Lucindo, right? Or, yeah. No, other way around, I guess. I think Lucindo went to her back, and then she was able to arm triangle. Oh, no, she arm triangled her. She didn't. I was thinking she just triangled her. I forgot. I kind of forget how that one went, but I do know that Tabitha Ricci has a unanimous decision win over both of these ladies. So it was the armbar against Veronica Hardy. Yeah, she just that was bad. That was really bad. I mean, a lot of her losing to Hannah Cifers and getting dropped by Hannah Cifers is not good, but I don't know. I think Jinyu Frey, not a high level opponent, but knocking her out in 47 seconds. That's pretty impressive. The Tabitha Ricci fight, she got taken down and controlled, but I thought she did was the better striker there. Same thing with the Lucindo fight. Yeah, I don't know. I really want to do this, so I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Pauliana Viana inside the distance. I just think she wins this fight if she keeps it standing, or even if she sprawl and brawls. I just think she's much more better with her hands and just striking in general. Jillian Robertson, man, she just quits if she can't get that. You'd probably think like Jillian Robertson, she's probably too smart to get caught, right? But I don't know. We've seen very different kind of game plans, very very different kind of fighters in these two from their fight. Fight to fight, they change. They look different each time out, both of them. So it's really hard for me to cap I'm going to look at some of these odds now before I just throw out a bet at your face. But I mean, Jillian Robertson minus 300 against somebody who is as dangerous as Polyana Viana. I don't know, man. That's so risky. You know, like Jillian Robertson hasn't been knocked out cold, 13 times or anything crazy like that. But she just watching her fight, it doesn't look the prettiest, especially on the feet. You know, it definitely looks good when she's on top beating the shit out of girls, but you know, getting to that point, it's even the Pierre Rodriguez fight, that shit was ugly before she eventually got her out of there. Polyana Viana sub plus 550, KO plus 700. I can't. What do you got for me? I need. No, something.
I mean, I'm staying away. I just want nothing to do with this fight, to be honest. It's Jillian Robertson should be able to take her down. I would think should be able to control her on the ground. Probably should be able to find some sort of submission of some sort. But again, like you said, you're talking about somebody who's lost to J.J. Aldrich, somebody who's got cooked by Miranda Maverick. It's not
badly, yeah.
Yeah, it's not something that it's trustworthy. But I think she is much more dangerous going down in weight to this 15, and having this fight happen at 115. It much better suits her. Because I think that's more of her weight class, It's crazy.
Yeah,
we always talk
definitely.
about how we think Jillian Robertson's old, but she's only 28. She's
crazy.
She's younger than all of these girls that she's fighting for the most
15
part.
UFC fights.
I think I'm going to take Robertson submission plus 140.
I'm going to go with under 2.5 rounds at minus 150. I don't see how it gets that far. I was thinking of under 1.5 at plus 135, but I'm going to do under 2.5 minus 150. I think they're getting each other out of there. I really want to take a Polyana Viana line, but I've done that before and it is not treating me well. So plus 8,000 if you think it's going to be a draw.
Minus
Just saying.
145 I can get you on one of these websites. So there you
Hell
go.
Yeah, baby.
Viana under 2.5. That's Viana Robertson under 2.5 is what he is going to play, and we have 2 more fights, I believe, left. Right? 2. Maybe
2?
3? No, only 2? Yeah, there you go. All right.
Deuce.
No, we got 3. 3. Johan Liness versus Sam Patterson, who is going up in weight class to make his 170 debut here in the UFC. He's coming off of he got sent to the Shadow Realm by the Red Fox, and it was bad. He was wrestling Mark Goddard, and it was an ugly situation. Liness, though, on the other hand, he's not exactly a world beater, you could say. He is a guy he'll start hot and then he just gets cooked. He fought, I think it was Gabe Green, and he was beating the shit out of Gabe Green in the first round, and then the second round started and he had no idea how to fight.
That was bad.
That's one of the lasting memories for me on him. You gotta just wonder what's gonna happen here. I got no idea. I would probably bet Liness, to be honest. He's at minus 150, 145. I have not seen anything from Sam Patterson that would tell me that he's worthy of being in the UFC, to be honest. I mean, maybe he is. I'm just saying from what I've seen, I got nothing, He's beat a lot of just guys on the regional scene. He's got a win against a guy who was 18-6, which that's probably one of his better wins, but Ty, do you have any different feeling on this? Is this like a TKO sort of thing, or is this just kind of a stay away?
Yeah, this is easy for me. The left hand, I've noticed in many fights for Sam Patterson, is open for his opponents to land on him. It happened against Yanal Ashmuz. It happened against Kamil Magomedov, a guy he beat, but it was there. Even that guy, it's gonna be tough, but Kunkar Pasha Osmayev was able.
Dude.
Yeah, he was able to get some shots off. And that guy was a bum. He fought a lot in Brave CF, and that's not the best competition, but there's a lot of footage out there of Brave CF, and that's just like I said, the 18-6 guy, Yali Diergeron. He went to a decision with him.
Yeah.
These are some tough names, man. I'm just struggling here. He went to a split a while ago. I watched him get knocked out by Hardeep Rai. That was his second pro fight. I don't want to judge him too hard for that, but he got knocked out bad. I think that might have been an early stoppage too, if I remember correctly. Either way, I don't like Sam Patterson's game. I like a little bit of his offense. I'll say I think he's quick. I think he can push you back. I do like that about him. He'll push you back. He'll throw some teep kicks, right? Kind of stay busy a little bit. The pace he pushes is pretty solid. I think he has multiple guillotines on his resume, so that's good. It seems that he has like an all around offensive game, but I don't think he has game changing power. I don't think he has game changing speed. Now he's moving up to 170 from 155. It's a big jump up. I know he's tall and long, but still, that's a 15 pound difference. And now he's fighting a guy in Liness who I think they have the same reach. Liness, though, the problem, and Liness is big for 170, so you're getting a small 155 or coming up to 170 against a big 170er. I don't know. The problem with Liness, he's kind of slow, right? When he on his Contender Series fight, so his last couple fights, it's weird. He's kind of been gun shy. I'm not really sure why, because coming through the ranks, he had a bunch of big knockouts on the regional scene, and on the Contender Series, he knocked out a pretty solid opponent, Justin Burlington, with a nasty left hook. That it was kind of just an exchange. Whoever lands first is going to win the fight, and it was him. It could have went the other way, but that's my issue with him. If he stands and trades, sometimes he might be on the receiving end of a big shot, just because his hand speed and his head movement, his hand speed not great. I mean, his speed in general, he just kind of plods forward for a 170er, and his head movement not great. He used to train with Patrick Cote. Now he's with Faraz Zahabi at TriStar in Montreal. So, maybe that's something he's got that's working on his game a little bit. I don't love his get-up game. I think it's pretty much non-existent.
Yeah.
His cardio after round one, he's pretty much cooked. But I just really think Sam Patterson is not UFC caliber.
Yeah.
His chin is very, very, very troubling. I'm going to take Johan Liness TKO. First round, and that's my play.
You're actually taking it on the card?
Yep, plus 275.
Wow, round one TKO plus 275.
Sam Patterson starts hot. He wants to mix it up quick, but he does not have the chin or the defense. It's really about the defense. I mean, there is a thing about Tom Nolan got chin checked by Nicholas Mota, but there was just an exchange and he got hit. Maybe it's going to be a problem for him in the future. Same thing with Jalen Turner. Like some of these tall, long guys. They have that long man defense, but with Sam Patterson, it's the chin and the hands. Like he doesn't really try to combat other guys' shots at all. He's just like, I'm going to hit you first, and I don't like that game plan whatsoever. Now, if he looks to mix it up, wrestling and grappling, he's going to fucking smoke Liness, I think. But man, I don't trust this kid at all. We've seen what we've seen, and that's enough. The Red Fox put him out into another dimension. He did take some time off, so that's good, but.
And he's going up now, right?
Yeah, this has happened to him before. So, yeah, give me Johan Liness for round one TKO.
Yeah, I don't know if going up is really the answer,
the fact that he's doing that already,
yeah,
that's kind of
it's more of a skill issue as opposed
like
to your weight class issue. Yeah, that's how I felt too. So, I'm with you. I'm going Liness TKO plus 130 though. I'm gonna keep myself going for the next couple rounds. So. Jasmine Jasudavicius. Wow. How about it? Getting in there against Priscilla Cachoeira. Priscilla Cachoeira has been a live dog in some situations, but she's plus 310, 290 to Jasmine's minus 400, 370. So that is the situation here. I don't know here, Ty. I mean, Jasmine should probably be able to take her down and control her and dominate her, but I don't know. I don't want anything to do with this. I'm going to stay far away.
I think this fight probably plays out kind of like how the Gabriela Fernandez fight played out for Jasmine, where she was, it was a tough little fight, man. She was taking some shots, and then she was like, fuck this, I'm taking you down. And it worked. She took her down 4 times. She controlled her for like 11 and a half minutes, which was crazy. That's going to be where she should go to. I mean, she almost got it done against Tracy Cortez with the wrestling. Decent volume. There's some times where she's been, kind of shut out a little bit. The Kay Hansen fight was closer than it should have been. Same with the chick in the Contender Series, Julia Pilastri. But that's kind of just how Jasmine is. I mean, she's not the best. She's not the sexiest fight style wise. Not saying anything about her looks. She kind of just fights close, thin margins. Not the prettiest ever, but she gets it done. And she's a junkyard dog. I think she's working on rounding out her wrestling game, calling herself the female GSP. as you've also called her that.
Yeah.
I think she should probably dominate Priscilla here. Priscilla, the only thing you got to worry about is her, poking you in the eye or kicking you low,
doing something dirty. Yeah,
doing something dirty. She'll cheat. She's smart. But how smart is she? Because she can't get off her back. She's like a turtle once she gets taken down. So yeah, she does have legit power. She has a nasty uppercut. And if you slow down, dude, she will turn up. She's unrelenting in that aspect. Her takedown defense, though, it's bad, and her get-up game is so much worse. She stands tall. She's very stiff. They're the same height, so I think Jasmine will probably, use some kicks and just, kind of try to stay at distance. She has a bit of a reach advantage, but I think she's just going to try to, not let Priscilla get close is what I imagine.
I can't let you get close.
Yeah. In the words of Chael Sonnen. So, yeah, she's pretty good in the clinch, Jasmine is. She likes getting that. She likes throwing knees. Yeah, I just think this is going to go exactly how the Gabriela Fernandez fight went. So, yeah, give me Jasmine Jasudavicius by decision. I don't have a play on it. I'm not going to be betting on Priscilla Cachoeira, that's for sure.
No. So, we have one more fight left to talk about. Jimmy Flick, Malcolm Gordon. Malcolm Gordon is a minus 225 favorite. That was alarming when I saw that. That was my instinct, was like, wow, like, is he's that big of a favorite? I don't know. I'm not so sure about that.
I also don't know.
Coming off of a loss where I think he missed weight. Did he miss weight in that fight against Jake Hadley? Or did Jake Hadley miss weight? Or I know that symbol means
missed weight. No, yeah, he missed weight against Hadley. He also got fucking smoked.
Yeah, he looked good against Mokaev, but he eventually got finished towards the end. Jimmy Flick. Now, as much as I'd like to bet him, the Brick. Jimmy the Brick Flick. Wow, holy shit, that's a crazy nickname. He's been cooked twice in a row. Once by Charles Johnson and once by Alessandro Costa. He is basically a ground, like a submission or bust sort of bet here. It's really where he might get, just beat up on the ground after he's laying on his back. He really tries to play the guard game a lot. So that is a thing you have to keep in mind when you're betting him. I don't know. I really don't know if this is worthy of a sort of shot down the field play. If you look at the odds, you have submission for Jimmy Flick is plus 400. So that might be worthy. But other than that, you know what? What do I have 1, 2, 3. I have 6 plays. I'm going to bet Jimmy Flick submission plus 400.
Let's go. So am I. I was waiting for my time to talk so I could pressure you into this play, but it seems like you beat me to it. Now listen to Malcolm Gordon's takedown defense. Do you want to guess what the percentage is? Just guess a number.
35.
9.
Oh my god.
9% is his takedown defense. His takedown accuracy is 30. He has a negative striking ratio. I don't want to tell you what Jimmy Flick's striking ratio is. He lands about 2 significant strikes per minute. He absorbs about 5 per minute. That is a nasty, disgusting ratio. Do you want to know what Jimmy Flick's takedown defense is? Just guess any number.
0.
Dead 0. Do you know what his takedown accuracy is? 27. So we're really getting
something's got to give here.
Somebody's got to get cut after this fight. They're both on 2-fight losing streaks. It's crazy because Jimmy Flick fought Cody Durden, got that Hail Mary triangle, retired, took 2 years off, came back and got absolutely just shellacked back-to-back times. However, I just watched Malcolm Gordon fight. It was a Sumadarji, and he was just getting pelted with shots and just absolutely wilted like a sponge, like a pumpkin. But also the Amir Albazi fight. I think at the time Albazi was like a purple belt. Not that necessarily matters, I guess, but he got walked all around by him on the ground. So give me Jimmy Flick by sub.
Yeah,
it's the only way he can get it done. It's all he has, but he's gonna do it. God damn it,
Jimmy Flick submission plus 400, and that
why not
is UFC 297 from Toronto. I hope you guys enjoy the card, enjoy the show, and enjoy this podcast because that's pretty much it. Do we have any boxing?
There was it used to be Showbox. Showtime is done. Now it's going to be called ProBox. They do a lot of midweek cards. I love it. There was a card last night. Mike Juan Williams beat Luis Feliciano. Mike Juan Williams is now 20-0. 20-0. So sometimes they'll have like under the radar prospects who aren't, signed the top rank or golden boy that haven't really been noticed yet. They put them on I think on YouTube the fights are. So those are pretty good. Next time I see a good one, I'm gonna let you know. This was in Plant City, Florida. If they can get a little closer to me, I'll have to go check it out in person. But I think
Michaela Mayer's fighting this weekend.
Yeah, Michaela Mayer's getting in there. Interesting to see what she does against Natasha Jones, who's talking all the shit. So I guess she wants all the smoke. It's going to be in Liverpool.
Wow.
So Natasha Jonas better get a knockout.
Tension's fighting.
Tension
Nasukawa.
Oh, man. He's getting in there with Floyd?
No, he's fighting some guy named Pacheco.
Isaiah Pacheco.
All right. Wow. Oh, man. Yeah, not really much boxing, though.
Yeah, there's no boxing. I mean, Jaime Munguia, John Ryder next Saturday from the Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona. That's going to be a fucking good fight, man. That's going to be a really good fight. Jaime Munguia is eyeing a bout with Canelo. The same PPD. They're working OT. I don't know if they're coming up here to arrest me. I mean, they're getting very close. But Jaime Munguia is trying to get that Canelo fight, that red panty night, if you will, on Mexican Independence Weekend. I believe that's what he's working towards, but we'll see. I mean, nothing else really for the rest of this month, boxing wise. It's kind of a slow. You know how boxing is. Sometimes a bunch of fights get released, sometimes none get released. So, yeah, there it is.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the Shoulder Strikes MMA Podcast, brought to you by the Hot Take Hotbox. My name is Matt McSweeney.
I am Ty Capone, and please try to learn the lesson that me and Matt have tried to teach you. Do not fade the Canadians in Toronto.